وعليكم السلام. Brothers and sisters can hear me? الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So we are here today for our class that is about the miraculous text of the Holy Qur'an. So inshallah, just give me a minute, inshallah. If the brother and sister can see the screen. If they can see the screen now. Okay. At least oh, you can see the screen. Okay. So I have shared the screen, but if you can see now. Slides and videos. I have only slides. Okay. Can you see the screen? Yes, I enabled. Oh, okay. The screen is here. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now you can see the screen, inshallah. Okay. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So, today our presentation is about the miraculous text of the Holy Qur'an. People say, we Muslims say that Quran is indeed a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Quran is no one can compete with Quran, no one can reach the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a miracle, as a challenge to all the mankind. So what does it mean? If you will say that Quran is a miracle and Quran is a challenge, so the non-Muslims might say that, if Quran is challenge, Quran is a miracle because you believe in it. If we don't believe in it, there is no challenge, there is no miracle. So how we will prove, inshallah, that Quran is a miracle, Quran is a challenge? So we are doing, inshallah, this presentation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَن يُفْتَرَى مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَتَفْصِيلَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ مِن رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. So this Quran cannot be attributed except to Allah, and this Quran is attested by all whatever it books, and this is a clear explanation, there is no doubt in it, and this is from the Lords of the words. So this is the main ayah. This is the ayah in Quran, in Surah Yunus, that explains that Quran is indeed only attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is very important to know that nowadays there is a hype, there is a thing that Quran should be proved by science. Actually, they want to prove Quran by the theories of science, by the scientific theories, and scientific theories we can only imply as a tool. Like we all know that Sarf and Nahu are also the tools in understanding Quran. But no one ever said that these tools themselves are a separate entity from Quran, and you should prove Quran from these. No. We can imply any other knowledge, any other science, any other field as a tool to serve the Quran, But the problem is that if we will prove Quran by science, it is not the triumph of Quran. It will actually become the triumph of science. It will become the success of science on the cost of Quran. and Muslims shouldn't do this. So, okay, just give a minute to. I will give my file, which is here. So, just a minute. Just give me 2 minutes, inshallah. So I upload the detailed file which I have. Inshallah. Okay, this is the file, a new file. So can you see this file now? Brothers and sisters can see this file? Okay, not yet. Okay. Now can you see? Okay. I'm stuck there, so. Okay. So what we believe, no, this is the same file. I wanted to upload another file. Still it is taking time. Okay. The brothers can see now? Brothers and sisters? It's very difficult here to change the files from one next file, I meant. Okay. So what we believe, these are our beliefs regarding Quran. So our beliefs regarding the holy book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are, we all know as Muslims, as believers, we all believe, and there is no difference of opinion among Muslims regarding these points which are mentioned here. Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the angel Jibreel alayhi salam. So Quran is a textual miracle in every sense, in meaning, it has a deep meaning, it has a miraculous meaning. Literature, it has a miraculous literature. How we will prove now in our presentation. Historical context, Quran told us about many historical things that are precise and accurate. Wordings, ruling min ahkam. Quran has ahkam, and we all know these ahkam about the trade, about business, about jihad, about politics, about family law, and about our prayers, our muamalat, and each and everything. Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Ma farratna fil kitabi min shay." We didn't leave anything which is not. We didn't leave anything, any gap in this book, and many other aspects. And no one will be able to match Quran in either aspect, and no one will be able to fulfill its challenges. Quran transmission and preservation is the absolute truth. This is called qat'i thubut or qat'i dalala. We read in the principles of fiqh, usul fiqh, what is qat'i thubut, what is qat'i dalala. So Quran is qat'i thubut. It is transmitted from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the chain of many narrations and many sahaba and many companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They narrated, and millions of huffaz are there in every generation. The Holy Quran is the ultimate truth and final judgment of Allah to His servants, to all mankind. It is the final and ultimate truth. The Holy Quran doesn't leave any aspect of life, worldly or after death, without any guidance or instruction or a clue to them. Someone once asked Sheikh Muhammad bin Saleh, who was a renowned Sheikh in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and he said how Quran told us that to make a certain type of thing or food. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Fas'alu ahla dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun." So this is a clue. The Holy Quran is immune of any error or omission. The Holy Quran is practical for acting upon and not impractical or impossible. Look, there is two things. That the thing is impossible. So Quran is not impossible practically, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't oblige anyone beyond his or her capacity. The Holy Quran began from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and will return to Him. This is Aqidah at-Tahawiyya. So this is Aqidah Tahawiyya. Now, the next thing is why Quran is a challenge. Why Quran is a miracle. So this will lead us to next topic, which is called Ijaz. It is called Ijaz. Ijaz is anything that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the khalq of Allah, the makhlooq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot do it. And from this word Ijaz, it is called mu'jiza. So there are two types of mu'jiza. The one type of mu'jiza is mu'jiza ma'nawiyya, which is Quran. And mu'jiza ma'nawiyya, we can say virtual miracle. And the other thing is that materialistic mu'jiza, what is physical. So there are two types of miracles. One miracle is called physical miracle, and the other miracle is called virtual miracle, or miracle by word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is Ijaz al-Qur'an. Ijaz al-Qur'an. And what is the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? One is word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the other thing is work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's called mu'jiza hissiyya, the physical miracles. So the physical miracles are two types of them further. One is that miracle which is given to Anbiya, the prophets. Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam, when people used to deny them, when people used to not believe them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them some sort of mu'jizat which are physical. And these mu'jizat are like the best example is the she camel of Salih alayhi salam. Salih alayhi salatu wasalam, once he pointed to a rock on demand of his people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he brought out from that rock a she camel. And when that she camel arrived, she gave birth. He gave birth. And this was another insight of it, mu'jiza. By the natural way, the camel doesn't come from a rock. In natural phenomena, camels come from another camel, a she camel. And also we have the example of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when Fir'aun, he demanded a mu'jiza. When Musa alayhi salam came to Fir'aun said to him, if you have any mu'jiza. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he just put his staff down and it became a snake. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. And another, in front of Pharaoh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ, a big snake. But the natural way, the natural phenomena which is known to the humans, is that a snake doesn't come from a solid. Instead, rather, a snake comes from egg. Inside the egg of a she snake, inside the egg of snake, there is a fluid. So it must be an egg, number one. It must be egg of a snake, number two, and it must be a fluid. This is a non-natural phenomena. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bring a snake from a fluid, or i.e. you can say a liquid, he can bring from solid. This is the point here. So these are all mu'jizat which are physical. But our topic is not physical mu'jizat, not mu'jizat hissiyya. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam were given many mu'jizat hissiyya. Some of them we read in the stories, in the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that one day when he pointed out to the moon split it. And one day when the Sahaba, they demanded water from the when they were going to Makkah for Umrah, and Mushrikeen blocked them, and Mushrikeen denied them the entry into the city of Makkah, and they stationed, or they halted at a place called Hudaybiyah. In that place, there was a well. There was an old well which was dried up. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he showed the mu'jiza of the Prophet sallallahu there, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he took some water and he poured from his mouth into that well, so then it filled up with water. And even now, this well is there, and I have seen it, and I visited, alhamdulillah. But we are talking about the mu'jiza ma'nawiyya of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is Qur'an. Look, Qur'an is a universal mu'jiza. Why? Because there was staff of Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam was given that mu'jiza, that his staff will turn into a snake. But the problem is that, not problem, mu'jiza, astaghfirullah, I'm not saying that. But the thing is that staff is gone now. Where is that staff? It is no more. And the second thing was that the staff will turn into snake only in the hands of Musa alayhi salam. So the staff will turn into snake only in the hands of Musa alayhi salam. If I will ever get that staff and I will try to transform it into snake, I will never be able. I shall never be able to do it. But Quran is such mu'jiza that even it works today. If a person, he doesn't know Arabic language, if he doesn't know anything about Quran, when he will hear the recitation, and he will say there is something in it. There is some attraction, a charm in it. And it is mentioned in a story many years ago that the world famous renowned Qari Abdul Basit Abdul Samad rahimahullah, he went with the president of Egypt Jamal Abdul Nasir to Russia, and in Russia, when he introduced him to the president of Soviet Union, at that time it was not Russia, it was called Soviet Union, and the president of Soviet Union asked Jamal Abdul Nasir, who is this man with you? Jamal Abdul Nasir didn't know what to say. He said, he is our singer. He sings a song, but not those songs. He sings Quran. He recites Quran. And the president of the Soviet Union, who was a communist, he said, let he be sing in our parliament tomorrow. And Sheikh Abdul Basit Abdul Samad, he recited the Holy Quran in the parliament of Soviet Union, and the president of Soviet Union said, no, this is not sing. This is not a song. It is something else. And I don't know the language, but still it touched my heart. And also, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave mu'jiza to Sulaiman. Mu'jiza of Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam was that Sulaiman alayhi salam, the throne used to fly. So Sulaiman alayhi salam throne used to fly. But the throne is no more. If ever I will get that throne and I will just try to make it fly, no. I will never be able to fly. So this is the thing, this is the difference between the mu'jiza of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as the nabuwah, as the prophethood of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is universal, and it is for up to the last day, the end of the time. His mu'jiza will stay, inshallah, up to the end of the time. Okay. So we will talk, inshallah, about the mu'jiza of Quran. Remember these two phrases, work of Allah and word of Allah. And the work of Allah included two types of works. The work of natural phenomena, which we know and you know. The water flows from upward to downwards, and there is gravity, and there is how our brain works. How our body works, man body, woman body, a child body. When a woman or man or child become old, how their body works. So these are all natural phenomena, and we all know that. And some are materialistic word, mu'jizat, muhassiyah, but they are not from the non-natural processes. Like we gave the example of the staff of Musa alayhi salam, and we gave the example of the she-camel of Salih alayhi salam, and we have the example of the throne of Sulaiman alayhi salam. So a natural process could be that you have to fix the wings, you have to fix a propeller engine with an aircraft, then it will fly. But the outside the non-natural processes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the throne of Sulaiman to fly. Even the natural process, this is our next, now this we will explain. Even the natural processes, we cannot copy them. We cannot copy paste them 100% perfectly. And we will, inshallah, later on see this. How? Okay, the Holy Quran is challenging the mankind. This is in my presentation, in my work which I have done by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and and the direction and encouragement from Hazrat Maulana Mufti Saab, which I've done, is that Quran, we should prove its miraculous aspect from self-evidence. What Quran itself says. Okay, we shouldn't go for scientists what they say. Okay, oh, Quran is, look, here it is. From 1,400 years, we have this fact. Okay, what sociologists say? Oh, we have this. Okay, what philosophers say? What they said? Okay, we have this philosophy in Quran. Everything is here. So they will ask us, if everything was there, why you didn't do it then? Why you didn't do? Why Muslims are lagging behind them? So this means these are just istidraj. These are just worldly things. If Muslims will excel in them, Allah will give him. If a non-Muslim will excel in them, Allah will give him. Man kana yuridu al-ajilata ajjalna lahu fiha ma nasha'u liman nurid. This is dunya. This is word. But Quran is mu'jiza in self-evidence manner. So what is this self-evidence? So we will look one by one to these challenges. These are ayats in Quran, verses of Quran, which present a challenge till the last day to all humans, if the humans can do. So there are two types of challenges. One challenge is from makhluk to makhluk. So in this challenge, yes, you can do it or you cannot do it. Maybe you will do it, maybe you will not do it. Like if a brother will say to me, or a sister will say that I have memorized the whole Muslim, the whole book of Imam Muslim rahmatullah alayh, or whole Mishkatul Masabih I memorized. Can you do it? Okay, I will say, oh, yes, I can do it. Some will say no, it will be very hard. And if brother sister will give me a challenge that I memorized the whole Quran in just a week, can you do it? So this is challenge from makhluk to makhluk. It is possible that you will do it. Sometime it will be very difficult or even impossible, But the challenge from Khaliq, i.e. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means no one will ever do it. And this is self-evidence. I collected these 22 ayats from Quran, which have challenges, and still now the challenge is open. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. This is challenge number 1. وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. If you are saying that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made Quran, he fabricated this Quran, or he manufactured, or you can say he has written this by his own, so you can bring a surah like this. The next ayah says, أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَاهُ قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. You can bring one surah if you can. أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَاهُ قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِعَشْرِ سُوَرٍ مِثْلِهِ مُفْتَرَيَاتٍ وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And you can bring 10 surahs. Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ لَئِنِ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَىٰ أَن يَأْتُوا بِمِثْلِ هَٰذَا الْقُرْآنِ لَا يَأْتُونَ بِمِثْلِهِ وَلَوْ كَانَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ ظَهِيرًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if all mankind and all jinns come together to fabricate a Quran like this, they will never be able to do it, even though if they coordinate with each other. Al-Khamisa, the fifth challenge is فَلْيَأْتُوا بِحَدِيثٍ مِثْلِهِ إِن كَانُوا صَادِقِينَ. Very simple. If they are truthful, they can bring a word like this, a Quran like this. So these 5 challenges are related only to bring like Quran or ayah of Quran or surah of Quran. The sixth challenge is قل إن كانت لكم الدار الآخرة عند الله خالصة من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين. This ayat is about the Jews, Bani Israel, and especially the Jews. Jews used to say that نحن أبناء الله وأحباؤه. Indeed, we are the beloved ones of Allah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are his sons. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, if this is so, just wish for death. Just wish for death. And a real person from Banu Israel who denied Allah and his messengers will never wish for a death. He will never say, oh Allah, I want to join you, or I want to come to you. Never say. Even now, this challenge is there, and they use other nations, they use other countries to bid their interests, to fight for them. We all see now what in Middle East and other parts of the world what is going on. Countries, many nations are fighting for them, but they will never go fight by their own for themselves. And the seventh challenge is وَقَالُوا لَنْ يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَى. They said that no one shall enter Jannah except who is a Jew or who is a Christian. تِلْكَ أَمَانِيُّهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that these are their wishful thinkings, wishful thoughts. قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Bring your evidence if you are truthful. Now, up to now, 1440 years passed. We are still waiting for that evidence. Okay. The eighth thing is كل الطعام كان حلا لبني إسرائيل إلا ما حرم إسرائيل على نفسه من قبل أن تنزل التوراة قل فأتوا بالتوراة فاتلوها إن كنتم صادقين. So all the food was halal, was made halal for Bani Israel, but except what Israel alayhi salam, i.e. Yaqub alayhi salam, himself made haram upon him. And it was long before Torah was even revealed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenged them that you shall bring Torah and show us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself made this thing haram. This was the meat of camel, as in a hadith, the meat of camel. Jews claim to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the meat of camel is haram. This is written in Torah. Allah, Jibreel alayhi salam brought this ayah, and then Muslims keep asking that where is that evidence? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentioned that الذين قالوا إن الله عهد إلينا ألا نؤمن لرسول حتى يأتينا بقربان تأكله النار قل قد جاءكم رسل من قبلي بالبينات وبالذي قلتم فلم قتلتموهم إن كنتم صادقين. And this is the story mentioned in the holy Bible, that the story of Ilyas alayhi salam, who is called in Bible as Eliyahu or Elijah in English, his name is, that if you are a true messenger from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you shall sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then a fire will come from the sky and it will burn it. And this means that your sacrifice is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But still, Ilyas alayhi salam in the Holy Bible is complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that still they didn't believe me, still they denied me, and still they are killing your prophets. And then قل أرأيتكم إن أتاكم عذاب الله أو أتتكم الساعة وغير الله تدعون إن كنتم صادقين. Whenever a calamity struck upon us, or whenever we are stuck in some trouble or terrible thing, we always call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We always pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It happened a lot with me while I was traveling air travel from UK to Istanbul, and there was a turbulence in air, in wind, a turbulence, and the aircraft just shook up, just went to a terrible turbulence. And many people I have seen, they were drinking before, like in this trip, and they say, "Oh my God, oh my God." So this is self-evident. No one can deny this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging here that you shall call anyone beside him if it helps you. إن الذين تدعون من دون الله عباد أمثالكم فادعوهم فليستجيبوا لكم إن كنتم صادقين. All the worshippers of idols, this is challenge to them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging that if you can call your idols, your gods, lords, or whatever they are, and if ever they will respond to you. أم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة. This is the same thing about idols. قل أرأيتم. These are two challenges. قل أرأيتم إن جعل الله عليكم الليل سرمدا إلى يوم القيامة من إله غير الله يأتيكم بضياء أفلا تسمعون. إن قل أرأيتم إن جعل الله عليكم النهار سرمدا إلى يوم القيامة من إله غير الله يأتيكم بليل تسكنون فيه أفلا تبصرون. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here mentioned two natural phenomena. One is the coming of night, and the other is the coming of day after night. If we have any capability, we have any ability to fix night throughout, or make the day fixed throughout, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenge all makhluk that if you can, just do it. And of course, this age of so-called technological advancements and so-called scientific progress, they are not able to do this. And then there is very, very clear message, very, very clear challenge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam with the king of the time, who was called Namrud. ألم تر إلى الذي حاج إبراهيم في ربه أن آتاه الله الملك إذ قال إبراهيم ربي الذي يحيي ويميت قال أنا أحيي وأميت. So Ibrahim alayhi salam told him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed he brings a person to life and he takes life from a person. Namrud said, I can do it. And then what he did, there were two prisoners. Prisoners were sentenced to death. Namrud ordered to free him, to be freed. And the other was sentenced. The other was ordered to be freed. Namrud issued a decree about him to be hung. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam understood that this guy is very stupid, and this Namrud doesn't get my point. So he said, إن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأت بها من المغرب. And this challenge is open still today. Okay. الله الذي خلقكم ثم رزقكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم هل من شركائكم من يفعل من ذلكم من شيء سبحانه وتعالى عما يشركون. Allah is the one who created you, then he provided you, then he will make you die, and then he will raise you again. Anyone beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from your lords, from your gods, from the partners you associated with him, can do any one from these. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه بل الظالمون في ضلال مبين. This is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So show me what beside Allah anyone else created. So this we will talk. This is about the work of God, work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all brothers and sisters, unfortunately, we know this, that nowadays ilhad is spreading. People are saying science gave us don't get me wrong, I am myself an engineer. I have done MSc from UK engineering. Science is a good thing, but if it serves the humanity, it serves Islam, Quran, Ummah. Otherwise, no, it is the thought of the Dajjal. It is the thought of Iblis. So they are saying science gave us all answers. So we don't need to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how? But still they need khalqullah. And how we will look upon in our next topic, inshallah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenged, يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان. If ever jinn and ins can escape from the, from the horizon, from the banks of this world, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said fanfudu. In is here shartiya, and fa is the jaza, as if he is saying that fanfudu, you can do it, you can hear it, you can go out from it if you can. La tanfuduna illa bi sultan. Next ayah says فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, and then يُرْسَلُ عَلَيْكُمَا شُوَاظٌ مِّن نَارٍ. No, meaning no, it is impossible to get out from this outside world in the space, and this is proven by science also. Now here we will take the evidence from science, no problem, because it is serving the ayah now. It is serving the ayah. If you are implying science to distort the ayahs of Quran, to do the tahrif, either ma'nawi tahrif or either lafzi in Quran, it is wrong, and most of they are doing this. But if it is serving Quran, serving the ayah, the correct meaning which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he told us, the Sahaba, then it's fine. So even science said there 600 kilometer above Earth there is a belt called Van Allen belt. It is the name of a German scientist who first discovered it in the late 19th century. His name was Van Allen. The Van Allen belt is a belt of radiation, and all the meteors on meteor and all the comets that come from the space, they are actually the broken pieces. According to them, wallahu alam. According to them, these are Shahabi Thaqib. We call them Shahabi Thaqib. According to them, these are broken pieces from stars and nearby planets and so on. And they never approach to this earth because of this belt. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He protected us by this belt. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another ayah in Quran, وَزَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ وَحِفْظًا. Hifza is maf'uli mutlaq, and hifza mean that there is security. The earth is secure that children of Adam alayhi salam, mankind, will live here when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will want them to live. The next ayah, it is very crucial, very important. ترجعونها إن كنتم صادقين فلولا إن كنتم غير مدينين فلولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون. This is about ruh. When ruh reach here, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenged all these so-called global powers, superpowers, these all Nobel laureates, these all nuclear powers, these all big mafias, jabbarin, mutakabbirin, mustakbirin in this earth, in this land. Tarji'unaha in kuntum sadiqeen. Bring this ruh back. Bring this ruh back. And all the jinn and ins, if they come together, they cannot give death to a small ant, and they cannot bring its ruh, soul, back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that it has to die. And then the same ayah which we discussed in ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah about Bani Israel, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ هَادُوا, but it is the hadu means Jews, the clear, very clear. إِنْ زَعَمْتُمْ أَنَّكُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ لِلَّهِ مِنْ دُونِ النَّاسِ فَتَمَنَّوُا الْمَوْتَ إِنْ كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And of course they will never wish to die. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلْيَدْعُ نَادِيَ سَنَدْعُ الزَّبَانِ. This ayah is about Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl came, and while Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was praying his prayer in Kaaba, and while he was in sajda, Abu Jahl tried to smash the head of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with a big stone in his hand, with a big rock. And Jibril alayhi salam came, and then he showed him, he opened his eyes, the eyes of Abu Jahl. He showed him a scene of the fire of hell. So Abu Jahl went back, and he couldn't do his this crime. So then Abu Jahl came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, I have Nadia, I have Nadi. Nadi in Arabic mean I have people. I am Lord of this valley. I am the chief of this valley. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلْيَدْعُ نَادِيَهُ. Let him call his men. Let him call his counselors. سَنَدْعُ الزَّبَانِيَةِ. We will call soon. We will call Zabaniya, the managers, or what do you say, the caretakers of the hell, i.e. the angels. And there is one more ayah which is in my this file, but I couldn't open it here, so I will just mention it also. And this is the ayah of Surah Al-Qasas, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِكِتَابٍ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَأَهْدَى مِنْهُمَا أَتَّبِعُهُ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Bring to me any book beside Qur'an that I can follow it, and it is more guided, more comprehensive than Qur'an. So dear brothers and sisters, these are challenges of Qur'an. Our next topic will be now that even look, there is a principle that sifatul kalam is muqaddam to sifatul fi'l. Like the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is afdal. The word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is afdal than the work of subhanahu. Of course, both are everything is in hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is capable. So there is word of Allah and there is work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Qur'an, as we see, and the ahadith qudsiyya were the meaning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but actually the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is work of Allah, as we discussed earlier, what is work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is the principle that the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is muqaddam to the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونَ. Allah will say, be, and it will be. So when it will be, it is work. It is fi'l. And when Allah, prior to that, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, be, and it is His word. So if you cannot compete in the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how come you will compete? You will come closer to any match to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is also a reason why bringing like Quran is difficult. Now there's another thing. Most of the mulhideen and Christians to whom I spoke and talk, they say, no, it is not fair that Quran is demanding that bring like us, like this, like my book. Because either, number one, if you will bring like it, the whole, like it will be then copy paste. There is no point. And if you bring like Quran, exactly you will I will say it is copy paste. What is the point? What is new? And if you will bring different, then I will say no, it is different. It is not misli he. But we will look, inshallah, what does it mean, misli he? And we will quote Imam Suyuti, Abdul Qahir al-Jurjani, rahmatullah alayh, and many other scholars. But first, look to this topic. The main reason, by searching about this topic for a couple of months now, the main reason behind the spread of ilhad and behind the spread of aqaid ad-dalla is the so-called scientism. It is actually not science. The real science doesn't contradict Allah, because it's work of Allah. How can work of Allah contradict with the word of Allah? It is not possible that Allah is saying something and his work is contradicting what he's saying. No. But there is a hype. I call it a hype. And then they say, oh, we don't need Quran, we don't need religion, we don't need monotheism, we don't need Allah himself, because science is there advanced and it take care of us in everything and it answered everything. But still all the science is copy paste of the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is very sad truth for them. Whatever you are doing in the name of science, whatever you are doing in the name of research and development, whatever you are doing, it is a trial. It is a trying to copy paste the natural phenomena. So what is your point? What you did then? What is your achievement? What is your contribution? Okay, and we will look these examples now. Okay, let's see this. This is a human. And the best, the most advanced. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Brother and sister can hear me? Oh. Brothers and sisters can hear me or not? Okay. This is human. The most advanced field of science now, do you know what it is? I need answer. If brothers and sisters can answer me, the most advanced realm of science, what is it nowadays? Of course, from your perception. What I searched and what I think that is robotics, robotics. And this is clearly trying, they are clearly trying to copy the humans. Look, this is a robot now. They are clearly trying to copy the human in everything. Oh. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So robotics is a sister says that it is based on, this is based on artificial intelligence. Very good. Yes, robotics is based on artificial intelligence, and it is the best thing that human can do in science nowadays. The most advanced field of science and computer science. But the most advanced field you have done is just to copy a makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called the human, the man. Man mean the human, man and woman both, of course. And that is your intiha, that is your mi'raj. And still you don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now, look, this is a whale. a blue whale, and this is a submarine. And if anyone is engineer, and especially mechanical engineer, he will know that they are trying to copy the natural thing already done by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a eagle. And what look at the wing, it is flip at the end. And once I watched for this to prepare my this presentation, I watched mega structures of National Geographic, a program called Mega Structure. And this mega structures, I saw they are building aeroplane. Actually, Boeing company, a famous US company, is building that aeroplane, and the old aeroplanes, they didn't have these flap wings at the end. Look, the wings are like this. And then they spotted the eagle, a bald eagle, and then they took the clue from it, and then they did this. And then you have human brain, and then you have this computer, and this is not matching. Even computer cannot match a brain of a small child. Just a minute, please. 1 minute. Just a minute. So they are trying to copy this. Yes, you are right that they want to live eternal here, and we will later, inshallah, put a clue to it. Also, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it. And this is artificial womb, the womb of mother, which is extraordinary, which is fantastic feat of the khalq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are trying to copy it, and they are making artificial wombs now, trying to make. And you are trying to make artificial things by copying the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already made, and still you said there is no intelligent design, and still you said there is evolution, and you cannot go without any, even a small step, without this natural prototype. We call them prototypes. So science works on two things: data and experiments, and both are collected and done by humans, and of course there must be some human judgment error. So we cannot prove Quran by this means. Now, very important question, and from here I think our actual topic starts, and we have inshallah 55 minutes more, as Mufti Saab, Maulana Mufti Saab gave me 2 hours, but we will wind up before, inshallah. In what way Quran is a miracle? Now, what the question I asked, whenever I spoke to mulhideen and Christians, and most of the people, they do objections on Quran are mulhideen and then Christians. They always say, oh, look, if someone has done something, you cannot say to him, because they say that Quran is compilation and book of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who is the author of this book. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who compiled this book. So if he has done extraordinary thing, no doubt he was a very genius person, and he was very, very intelligent person. And there are many other intelligent people in this world. So how can you say that when intelligent people, uh, I don't know what is the prayer time, Maghrib prayer time in the UK, because I'm not in the UK right now. I am in Pakistan now. I am in Islamabad now, and I am right now not in the UK. So if okay, it is now, then 10 minutes, inshallah. Uh, we will come back on 10 20 past 10, inshallah. We will come back. So brothers and sisters should pray now, and we will come back 20 past 10. 13 minutes you have, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Our brothers and sisters here, can you hear me? Okay. Can you see the what you are seeing on screen? Okay. Are you seeing the logo of Darul Ilm? Okay. So this was the file I just, but now the same thing, but some additions like what we have. So this is Madain Salih, and okay. So the robotists are trying to just make robots more and more matching the human, but still they are reached a 6 years old child intellectual level and capacity. And so this was the point here, and I mentioned the article. So okay, now we were here. So whenever I spoke to these mulhideen and Christians, they always say, oh, Prophet Muhammad SAW was a very intelligent man, very genius person. So if a genius person can bring with some idea, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can also do the same thing. And they give the example of Albert Einstein, that Einstein gave us scientific theory, and this theory was only given by Einstein in the whole history. And there is another scientist, he gave us such theory, and this was only him in the whole history. But the thing is not that. If Einstein was scientist, there were many other scientists given the theory. If Imam Shafi'i was faqih, there were many other fuqaha, they have contributions. But Quran is Quran. And bring like this mean these are the attributes of Quran. In what way Quran is a miracle? As we know that Quran is the kalam of Allah, what we see in a kalam. Based on the criteria mentioned below, we can judge a kalam by testing it against the following criteria. More points a kalam would gain, the more it will be difficult to emulate or replicate. The first thing is balagha, rhetoric. Balagha include ijaz. Any ijaz mean to say many things in short sentence. So tashbih mean to resemble something with other, like we say, this man is brave like a lion. Isti'ara mean that to take something, some attribute of one to mention it for another. Like we say, you are the Yusuf of this time. You are the Yusuf of this time. Mean you are handsome like Yusuf. Deep meaning and so on. والبليغ هو الشخص القادر على إنجاز الإقناع والتأثير بواسطة كلامه وأدائه. فالبلاغة تدل في اللغة العربية على إيصال معنى الخطاب كامل للمتلقي سواء أكان سامعا أم قارئا. To convey full meaning, full message in the best manner, in the best words, with tashbihat, with istiarat, with amsal. So, examples from Quran. أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. This is balagh tam. That the ones who are on the guidance, the same people are muflihun, i.e. successful. Like if someone is on a right path, guided path, so it is ta'keed here, balagh tam, that they are the successfuls. وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِم مِّن غِلٍّ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلِينَ. They will sit one to one in their gathering, and they will sit on opposite each other, and they will have no grudges against each other in their hearts. So if they are sitting to opposite one another and they have no grudges. So, but still Allah mentioned ikhwanan. The word ikhwanan means brothers. Of course, if they have no grudges and they are sitting in a beautiful environment and lovely environment, but still Allah mentioned ikhwanan. كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده وعدا علينا إنا كنا فاعلين. Look here. وعدا علينا, number one. This is promise upon us. Number one is بدأنا أول خلق نعيده. نعيده is number one. Of course, it is sufficient for us, but still, balagh tam happened here. وعدا علينا, it is promise upon us. إنا كنا فاعلين. We are actually, indeed, in reality, we are going to do this. So you said, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we will bring back all this creature, mankind, humanity on that day. Okay. Still say wa'adan alayna, this is our promise. The first is also a promise, but wa'adan alayna is a promise came with lafz. This is balagh tam. Inna kunna fa'ilin. Indeed, surely, definitely we are going to do it. Next ayah. فَإِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارُ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ. Up to here is like a sentence, but الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ is balagh tam. That the hearts are in, which are inside the chests. So don't believe them when they say to you that we have thoughts in our mind. Mind is in our brain. Brain is in our head. And then when you say وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ, what does it mean? They said, oh, qulub here means hearts, but it is majaz. Majaz. It is not haqiqa. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't leave any gap. Didn't leave any gunjaish. Didn't leave any thing for majaz. He said, allati fi sudur, clearly, which is in the heart, in the chest. So the kalam should contain balagha. The next thing is fasaha, eloquence. Fasaha means salamatuha min tanafur al-huruf wa mukhalafat al-qiyas wal-gharaba. Three things should not be there. The huruf are annoying to the hearings, irritating. It should not be against the qiyas, mukhalafatul qiyas. Should not be gharib. Lafz gharib mean which is in Arabic, but still it is either heavier to who listens, and either it is like very rarely used, or either. So in Quran, wa asqaynakum ma'an furata. The word here furata is salim, is intact from all these three defects. In Arabic language, you can also say naqaha, but naqaha is very heavy and irritating. Okay, next. وَالْخَيْلَ وَالْبِغَالَ وَالْحَمِيرَ لِتَرْكَبُوهَا وَالزِّينَةَ. And khayl, the horses, وَالْبِغَال, the mules, وَالْحَمِيرَ, the donkeys. He created for you to ride, to mount, and then for beautification, for show, like. So al-khayl is also another word in Arabic language, ay al-faras. Look, al-khayl and faras both mean included horses and mares, you know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentioned the word al-khayl. And this is the story of Hassan bin Thabit and Khansa. Khansa was very famous poetess of the time of Jahiliyyah, and she embraced Islam later also. And she was the companion of Prophet. And Hassan bin Thabit radiallahu anhu is the court poet of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they met in Okaz, Suq Okaz, which is in Taif. And Khansa asked, and Hassan bin Thabit claimed that he is the best poet, shair. Khansa asked, no, you are not the best. Tell me about your best poetry. So Hassan bin Thabit said, لنا الجفنات. This is not janafat, this is jafnat. الغر يلمعنا بالضحى وأسيافنا يخطرن من نجدة الدمى. Khansa said, no, all your best poetry is defective. And she said, number one, jafnat is for جمع قلة. And you should say al-jifan, like in Quran said, al-jifan kal-jawab. And this is jama kathrat. And you can say al-ghurr. Now in Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-ghurr al-muhajjalin yawm al-qiyamah. Al-bayda fi al-jabha. لو قلت بيض, which is the plural of بيضاء, لكان أكثر اتساعا, better. يلمعنا واللمع شيء يأتي. It is not because it is the daytime. بالضحى, duha is daytime. Everything is shining, so you don't need to mention. If you have come, because Hassan bin Thabit in this poem, he's saying that we are so generous that from the morning we have started coming the guests and we feed them. So Khansa's point was that if better the guests come in night and they bother you and then they are shining, it is better. And then bidduha, she said bidduja, meaning night time. So night time more guests come and it will bother you, then you will bear the your trial. If someone is coming to you daytime, it is normal, it is not a big thing. Someone is coming to you night, then big thing. وقلت أسياف, and it is also جمع قلة. You have said سيوف. And قلت يقطرنا here is very heavy word. You should say يسلنا. Look, so smooth, seamless word. لكان أكثر. وقلت الدماء وقلت الدمن. You said daman. You are not too brave. He said we are generous and we are brave, that our swords are filled with a blood. He said you should say bloods والدماء. فسكت حسان ولم يحر جوابا. And Hassan bin Thabit has nothing to answer. Visualization, and it is common in Quran how Quran visualizes the events. فانفلق فكان كل فرق كالطود العظيم. When Musa alayhi salam struck his staff, and then the sea parted, and then Bani Israel they crossed the sea and Pharaoh was drowned. But in Shu'ara, the poets, you have lot of exaggeration. My loved one is like this, her or his or her back is like very thin, like a hair size. It is not true. Okay. خاشعة أبصارهم ترهقهم ذلة. This is the day of judgment when the criminals, the disbelievers, will be terrified, and this terror will be evident on their faces. And then salasat is from sin. Okay, this is not from sa. It is not salasat. This is salasa. Salasa means smooth, wavy, flow. Quran is a flow. Look, Allahu alladhi khalaqa sab'a samawati wa min al-ardi mithlahun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created 7 heavens. But here, wa min al-ardi mithlahun, Allah, this in common language we could say Allahu alladhi khalaqa sab'a samawatin wa sab'i ardin. But sab'i ardin is heavy. There is no flow. So he said wa min al-ardi mithlahun. رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة ونجني من فرعون وعمله. رب ابن لي عندك رب ابن لي بيتا عندك في الجنة. But here look, flow disrupts. ونجني من فرعون ومن عمله. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says ونجني من فرعون وعمله. Look, flow continues. وإن جندنا لهم الغالبون. لام is here for تأكيد, or لام is زايدة. So without lam, if you will say وَإِنَّ جُنْدَنَا هُمَ الْغَالِبُونَ, you will see the break there, a disruption there. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. وَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ without seeing, or with, so it will have a disruption. أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ انْقَلَبُوا, again disruption. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى وَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ. There is a disruption some, and there are huruf muqattaat. Even mu'jiza are in huruf muqattaat. You cannot construct any hurufi muqattat other than these mentioned in Quran. You can refer to the books of urud. Okay. So this was the fourth attribute in a kalam. The fifth attribute, tartib. Imam Abdul Qadir Durjani said the only mu'jiz of Quran is tartib of kalimat, because this language was known, of course, and this words were known, of course. The people of Prophet's time used to, because these were from Jahiliyyah. The language was there, but the tartib of Quran is. But this is not so true, and we will see how. Inna ilayna iyabahum thumma inna alayna hisabahum. This is the tartib. Look, in ordinary language, common language, we will say inna iyabahum ilayna thumma inna hisabahum alayna. So this is taqdeem wa ta'khir. Taqdeem wa ta'khir khabaru inna. Okay. ولا يسأل عن ذنوبهم المجرمون ولا يسأل المجرمون عن ذنوبهم. فعل مجهول نائب فاعل and then متعلق جار مجرور متعلق with يسأل. رب إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. رب إني فقير لما أنزلت إلي. فأوجس في نفسي خيفة موسى. Very beautiful آية. فاعل خيفة is مفعول مطلق في نفسي is مفعول فيه. أهؤلاء إياكم كانوا يعبدون. أهؤلاء كانوا يعبدون إياكم. أكثرهم بهم مؤمنون. أكثرهم مؤمنون بهم. So in the bracket, this is a common language, Arabic, and otherwise this is the ayah of Quran. So other ayah of Quran is mumtaz, yani like it is known to any Arab. He will say, oh, this is not common Arabic. ثم في النار يسجرون ثم يسجرون في النار. Okay. Muqaddarat. The kalam should be a beautiful muqaddarat there, i.e. the words that are intended but not mentioned. Muqaddarat. Like Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Before Bismillah, there is the word intended. Abda'u. I am starting with the name of Allah. Mata'un qalilun thumma ma'wahum jahannam. Ay, dhaka mata'un. Dhaka is intended. Muqaddarat. But if you will write dhaka mata'un qalilun, then it will be a common language. وَذَنُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا فَظَنَّ أَن لَّن نَّقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ. أي وَاذْكُرْ ذَنُّونِ, because ذَنُّون here is mansoob. There must be mansoob means maf'ul. There must be some fi'l before. So this is وَاذْكُرْ. Like how beautiful Quran is arranged. Connection was gone. Okay, came again. Okay, there are many. Yes, connection came back. Okay, there are many examples, like the example of Yunus alayhi salam. How can Yunus alayhi salam think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not capable upon me? No. Even a common Muslim, an ordinary believer cannot think. What about the Nabi? No, it is lisanul hal. Like we say in English, your exams are approaching, but as if you are not paying attention. As if. It means lisanul hal. Why he is not paying attention? He is paying attention. He is worried about exams. No doubt. But we say as if you are not worried about your exam and your exam is approaching. So this is lisanul hal. Okay. So this is clear from this question of aqaid, that how can Yunus alayhi salam think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not capable upon him? No. This is lisanul hal, and we use lisanul hal in our common conversation, everyday conversation. Saja, rhyme. Quran is a rhyme. It is not poetry, it is not a prose, but it is rhymed prose, and neither the poets, neither the prose writers can compete it. They have either the poet will have prose, or either the writer will have a prose, poetry or prose. يعلم السر وأخفى. السر here is specific because it is mu'arraf bil lam. وأخفى is the أفعل التفضيل. يعلم السر وأخفى. He knows the sir. It is prosed because in common language you can say يعلم السر والخفي. والخفي. No. السر is a secret, specific secret. وأخفى is the thing that is hidden. Because أخفى, why أخفى here? Because طه. It is surah from Surah طه. Because all like this طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن تشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى. So this is سجع. والآخرة خير وأبقى. So خير is in معنى of أخير also. Why أبقى? Because سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى. So here أبقى. وكلا جعلنا نبيا. In common language Arabic we could say وكلهم جعلناهم نبيين. وكلهم جعلناهم من النبيين. But whom the ضمائر you will remove, then the nabi will come one. The nabi will come singular, not plural. Why? Because this is Surah Maryam. And Surah Maryam, this is the saja. The end of ayats are like this. وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صِدِّيقًا نَبِيًّا إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ يَا أَبَتِ لِمَ تَعْبُدُ مَا لَا يَسْمَعُ وَلَا يُبْصِرُ وَلَا يُغْنِي عَنْكَ شَيْئًا فَفَرِيقًا كَذَّبْتُمْ وَفَرِيقًا تَقْتُلُونَ. In common language we could say فَفَرِيقًا كَذَّبْتُمْ وَفَرِيقًا قَتَلْتُمْ. Because كَذَّبْتُمْ وَقَتَلْتُمْ. But here, because of saja and because of the true meaning, the true nature of those people, of these kuffar from Bani Israel who tried to kill our Prophet ﷺ also, so it is also a hal, a mudari'. Even if a prophet will come now, today, they will try to kill him. Of course, Isa alayhi salam, when he will come, the Dajjal and his followers will try to kill him, of course. لَضَلَلْتُ إِذًا وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُهْتَدِينَ. لَضَلَلْتُ إِذًا وَمَا أَنَا بِمُهْتَدٍ. But مِنَ الْمُهْتَدِينَ is the true meaning, big meaning. Saja, beautiful. كُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. These are the Shams, Qamar, and these are غير ذوي العقول. But اسم ظاهر, when it comes, you can mention it as ذوي العقول also. And I am sure that you read this in Hidayat al-Nahu. عمق المعاني, deep meaning. لا يغرنك This is one example. You have a lot of examples in Quran. لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس المهاد. So لا يغرنك mean who is the audience. You should not be doubtful about. You should not be. They should not make you doubt anything about their achievements, so-called worthy contributions. Who? You who? Prophet ﷺ or all Muslims? All Muslims. Why? Because Prophet ﷺ, if you consider him, he will khas. He is khas, special. And all Muslims, we are common. We are am. Khas can come in am, can include, but am cannot be included in khas. Remember this. The worldly things are little in duration, quantity, quality, and achievement. That's why mata'un qalil. The hell is the worst place because of infinite time span, no hope of escape. There's always an increment in punishment. So deep meaning in many things. And there are additional things in Quran which is tajweed other than the sifat al-azima and other than the makharij. All tajweed is specific to Quran only. Yes, makharij are specific to Arabic language itself, and the sifat al-lazima like ra, takrir, sifat takrir, seen, sifat al-safir, specific to Arabic. But other tajweed things like mad, iqlab, izhar, ikhfa, qalqala, gunna, you cannot do it in common language. You cannot say ja'a zaidun. No. People will laugh at you. You will look like a weird makhluk of Allah. Like you are reading newspaper. قال الملك فهد بن عبد العزيز. No. Tajweed is specific in Quran. وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا. Here's ikhfa also. And there is muqaddamat, trailers in Quran. There are some surahs in Quran which have trailers. The concept of trailer which you see in movies and films today, and which this is taken from Quran. In Quran, there are trailers in many surahs, especially the short surahs, Makki surahs in the last para. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. So وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى is trailer. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Brothers, can you hear me? Brothers and sisters? Yes? Okay. Maybe sister Zahra has problem in maybe she should log out and then come again. Okay. Quran is the first book in history to introduce the concept of trailer, like Wal-Adiyat Dabha, you see horses running the battlefield. فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا. Here up to here is trailer, and then إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٍ is the beginning of what Surah concept. Haqaiq al-Kawniyya, realities about life and universe. One sister pointed out that humans want to live longer and longer, and this is mentioned in Quran. Iblis, when he came to Adam alayhi salam, he said, ما نهاكما ربكما عن هذه الشجرة إلا أن تكونا ملكين أو تكونا من الخالدين. So khulud, to remain forever, to live forever, is a human desire. Quran. And how the millahs behave when they got power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كلما جاءهم رسول فكذبوه فأتبعنا بعضهم بعضا وجعلناهم أحاديث ولكل أمة أجل. Every nation has a time. We bring this and we bring that one for mihna, for trial, for test. ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض. Like وإن تتولوا يستبدل قوما غيركم. Okay. Exceptional qualities Quran highly treasured throughout. Quran talks about law, finance, war, family law, inheritance law. In common language, the language ma'yar, the language quality will deteriorate. Like if you are talking, in English poetry, if you are a poet in English, your poetry will be a high standard. But if you will talk in English about law or about engineering or medical science, your quality will go down. Quran, no. Repetition doesn't seem to be boring. Quran repeat many stories, but read every time. And this is the Arab this is Arab word map. 250 million people still speak Arabic today. But tell me about any other religious language like Sanskrit, like Semitic, like Suryani, Ibrani. They are dead languages. Memorization is very easy, self-evident. No one can memorize. Quran, universal approach of Quran. Quran talks about universal. Ya ayyuhan nas. I read the Holy Bible and they say, O children of Israel, O family of Yaqub, O family of Abraham. No, universal. Ya ayyuhan nas. The language is still used by millions of people today. And who was the king of Egypt in Joseph's time? Bible say it was Pharaoh. Bible always say Pharaoh in Joseph's time. Bible always say Pharaoh in Musa's time. But Quran make a differentiation. Quran says Pharaoh in Musa and Harun's time, and Quran says Malik, the king. And the new archaeological advancements and evidence prove that in the time of Joseph, there was a Semitic tribe called Hyksos who was ruling Egypt. So they were not using Pharaoh. Pharaoh was Egyptian title. Pharaoh's local title. And these Hyksos were outsiders. They invaded Egypt. So they were Semitic. And in Semitic language, Malik mean king. Arabic, Hebrew, any. Who was the Pharaoh of Exodus? There are a lot of theories, but Quran settled this. There were two kings only in the history of Egypt. Hatshepsut, she was a queen, and Ramses II, he was a king. In Quran, it is not the king, queen. And these two built these many. So Quran said, وَفِرْعَوْنَ ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ. Only this queen and this Ramses II in their reigns, respective reigns, made these obelisks. So Quran said, وَفِرْعَوْنَ ذِي الْأَوْتَادِ, no other. Of course, the Pharaoh mentioned in Quran was not a female, not a queen, so it must be Ramses. And Ramses' wife was called Iset Nofer, or Isi. We say Isia. The statue was placed beside other gods. Ramses, yes. Ana Rabbukum al-Ala. All the pharaohs were considering themselves as the caliphs of the gods. But this Ramses was the first and last ruler in Egypt who considered himself as from the gods, from the Majlis, Council of Gods. He erected many obelisks. His reign was the longest among the pharaohs. He reigned for 67 years. He had the greatest conquest of all the times. Of course, if you will say Ana Rabbukum al-Ala, you should have some achievements. He's the most celebrated pharaoh of the ancient Egypt. He has the best preserved body after embalming. So Quran says all pharaohs were embalmed and they were preserved, but Pharaoh Ramses was preserved the best. And this is Ramses sitting with all other gods, main gods of Egypt. Previous Sharia, Quran says we preserve the previous Sharia. These are ahkam of the previous Sharia, all mentioned in Quran. Don't do this. Only worship Allah and walidain ihsana and do good with the relatives and orphans and masakeen and waqul nasi husna and establish the prayers and as-siyam and al-jihad. فَلَمَّا كُتِبَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقِتَالُ jihad was on them. So, and these are all ahkam. وَأَخْذِهِمُ الرِّبَى وَقَدْ نُهُوا عَنْ the riba was forbidden for them, and the sabt was there, and أن النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين was there, the qasas. وعلى الذين هادوا حرمنا كل ذي ظفر, every with the nail animal was haram upon them. And make your home your qibla. These were their ahkam. Okay, prophecies of Quran professed Roman conquest. Alif Lam Mim غلبت الروم, return of the Prophet to Makkah. إن الذي فرض عليك القرآن رادك إلى معاد, children of Israel coming back to Palestine. Yes, فإذا جاء وعد الله جئنا, and we have seen them now. They are there. The era of right. وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات استخلفنهم في الأرض. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. Destruction of Makkans after the Prophet leave. Yes, they were destroyed in the Battle of Badr immediately after the Hijrah. ثم لا يلبثون خلافك إلا قليلا. 2 years they lived. Destruction of Abu Lahab, tabbat yada, and it's done. The people of book will annoy and bother us for sure. Look, who is publishing the cartoons of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Jews and Christians, not Hindus or Buddhists or any other. Who tried to mock Islam? Of course, these people. وَلَتَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. Prophecies and tartib. Remember these two things in Quran. These are the best mu'jizat of Quran. Prophecies and the tartib of Quran. And there are mode of recitation, the qiraat. يغلي في البطون تغلي. If يغلي, it is طعام. It is تغلي, it is شجرة. أشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري. أشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري. سلام على الياسين, Ilyas alayhi salam. سلام على آل ياسين, because the great grandfather of Ilyas alayhi salam was Yasin. So they فحق عذابي. Nuni waqaya is there in some qiraat like Yaqub. فكيف كان عقابي فكيف كان عقاب. وإذ قال إبراهيم وإذ قال إبراهام. So all these variation don't deteriorate the ma'yar, the standard of Quran, which we discussed earlier, like fasaha, balagha, like salasa, flow. It doesn't affect them. Jazakumullahu khairan. And then these are the references which I have mentioned here. And if I mentioned my email here, if brothers and sisters can email me, so I will hand over them this, and they will do their own research, inshallah. Not now, of course, but whenever they will get time in Eid vacations or Ramadan vacations, they will have to do their own research and they can spend. We have to do a lot of work to expend. There are many other things, and in many ways you can do the khidmat of Quran in modern day, to expand the literature for the khidmat of Quran, not copy pasting what our scholars, our beloved and respected scholars and Salafi Salihin have done, mashallah. Jazakumullah khairan. But it is also our responsibility to act upon Quran, to expand its knowledge, to serve it in different ways. Like this is the age of science, age of so-called enlightenment, the age of so-called discussion and logic and reasoning and this. And I showed this many ways how to do it further. Be beyond the boundaries of Sibawai and Mabarrad and Akhfash and Salafi Salihin. Be beyond the borders mean that to expand to continue their legacy. That I mean, to continue their work, their blessed work, to continue their legacy. So we will have served Quran better way. So any question, any brother and sister has a question, so I can answer, because we have 5 minutes now. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our good deeds, and this is indeed a ni'mah. This is act of worship. And but we should remember that topic of Quran is very sensitive, and we should have a firm ground first in it, and we should be blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and given tawfiq, then we will be able to serve Quran, inshallah. I have already shared my email, so I will write again 1 minute. So this is my email. Brothers and sisters can just email me a blank email, so I will put forward this file to them. And my intention in life, my passion is, after finishing this course, Alim course, I will inshallah do more takhassus in Quran, and then I will inshallah expand all this from more authentic sources and more. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our deeds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability and more tawfiq to serve His book and to reward us. And waj'al li lisana sidqin fil akhirin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our legacy with Quran, and after we depart this world, people shall remember us with Quran. Sallallahu wasallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.